Hello, my name is Melissa Fetterhoff. I am the president and CEO of the Nashoba Valley Chamber of Commerce, and today we are here with Groton's Retired Chief Don Palma. We're super excited today to talk about and learn more about the new vaccination site that is going to be opening at Devens. So tell us a little bit about, so you've been very involved in this from the beginning. What's been going on? This is a much needed thing in our community. We wrote a letter of support for this. We're happy to be partners on this. Tell us all about it.
So this journey for me began the middle of February. In the middle of February, 16 town administrators and town managers in our area, which basically is circled around the Nashoba Board of Health, submitted a letter to the governor and to the state legislature, and as well as you submitted letters, and it was to beg for a vaccination site somewhere in our area. And it did not fall on deaf ears. Sheila Harrington and Jim Arcero and Dan Senna from the local state reps, and as well as Jamie Eldridge, a state senator, took up the cause. And I got a call from Sheila Harrington and asked me to help her with this, and I agreed to it. And we attended a Zoom meeting, and I must have fallen asleep for a second because when I woke up, I was kind of overseeing this operation. But it's been a great trip. So I've taken what we did was we looked at everything, and I've had some outstanding help from Joe Macy from Pepperell, from the biomed firm there, Macy Bioservices. He was a great help initially, and we got a group together with representatives and or someone representing the town managers in the area. And we came up with Devens as being the ideal or the centrally located site. And the Nashoba Board of Health had done a couple of smaller clinics at Devens. They used the old Officers Club, but it really was too small for what we anticipated our needs were going to be. So I reached out to a friend who in turn reached out to the folks at Clear Paths for Veterans of New England, which is on Antietam Way in Devens, or Antietam Road, which is the old Army hospital. And they couldn't have been more receptive. They've been outstanding to work with. They've been outstanding to accommodate us. They've basically given us the whole building to get this done. They're very pro community. They're very community oriented. And the only way they could be any more accommodating, quite honestly, is if they invited me over for dinner. Other than that, they've been outstanding. So we formulated our plan, and I got together some local police chiefs and fire chiefs, and I toured a couple of the bigger sites, and I toured Lowell General, and I toured the other site at Devens, and we took some pretty good notes, and we formulated a plan, an operations plan. We submitted it to the state, and fortunately, we've been given the green light. We've been approved to operate the site, and we anticipate that we will be starting up someplace the second week in May. And we're going to do a soft opening first, which means we will probably do 2 days and see how it goes and work out the bugs and see what we did right, what we did wrong, and then we're going to ramp up and really get rolling. So that's kind of where we're at this particular moment. We've got our plans in place. I'm going to turn to you and to the folks at the chamber because we have no budget. This is a community-based volunteer effort. The Nashoba Associated Boards of Health are our clinical people. And other than that, we're relying strictly on volunteers. And fortunately, I've got some pretty strong volunteers so far, but we're going to need a lot more. So I'm reaching out to you through the chamber. We're going to need some supplies, some equipment. We've got some supplies, we've got some equipment, but we're going to need other stuff along the way. So as we take this journey together as a community, I'm reaching out to the chamber and to the Rotary Club and to all 16 town managers that signed the letter in hopes that they will provide some sort of a service for us, as they indicated in their letter that they would help. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
So what kind of supplies do you need?
Well, it's stuff that's really perishables mostly. We have the medical and the clinical supplies to do the job. we need to borrow things like card tables. We've got some, but we need some more. We need card tables. We were a company reached out to us and they were kind enough to allow us to use 5 tablets, but we really need 5 more. So if there's a company or a school out there that has 5 tablets that can be used for a couple of months, because this is all done by computer and we transmit our data every night to the state. So our goal is to have tablets or computers for the data entry people to do it live. And at the end of the day, we hit transmit and our day is good and we can start the next day. So we need things like that. We've got signs, we've got cones, we've got all of that other stuff. We would be looking again to some local help for things like snacks and coffee and bottled water. We've got some of that donated already. We're looking for some more. But little things like that. But what we're really going to be asking for in the very near future is both, and we divided the volunteers into 2 groups, clinical and non-clinical. And the clinical group is under the purview of Jim Gareffi over at the Nashoba Associated Board of Health. And those are the folks that are qualified to give injections, that are qualified to handle a vaccine, and are willing to help do that. And the non-clinical people is basically everybody else. And that falls under myself and Alex McCurdy. Alex has been very strong and very helpful, as is Steele McCurdy. And I'd be remiss without giving a shout out to Tim Johnson, to Scott Wodzinski, to Jim Dow over in Dunstable, and a couple other chiefs. But the non-clinical help is going to be everybody else. And we've divided that into 2 groups, inside help and outside help. And the outside people are going to be the folks that help us get people that are challenged, senior citizens, or people that have trouble walking or getting into buildings. Fortunately for us, our building has a handicap ramp access, and we have plenty of parking for handicapped and those that need it. But we're going to need help in that area. We're going to need help parking cars efficiently, and we're going to need help that way. And the inside help, we're going to need help with people just being ambassadors and guiding folks through the process and data entry. And then like at all the other all the other vaccination sites, people have to sit for 15 minutes so we can observe them. So we need some people to observe and just to help people navigate through this so that it's as quick and as efficient and as painless as possible.
Well, you can sign us from the chamber up to help. I'm not good at parking. My siblings would tell you that, be the first folks to tell you that. So you want me inside checking people in and helping do some of that stuff. But I'll definitely would love to be part of seeing how this works.
Well, thank you. And you and I both know we've talked several times about this and the chamber's involvement. And I've reached out to the chamber and the Nashoba Valley Rotary Club, as well as the Pepperell TV network has reached out to me too to help us with some of that stuff. And we're fortunate we've got some computer help. We're going to need a little bit more. But again, there's a job for everybody. So if anybody wants to volunteer, Groton has been exceptionally good to me, as has Westford and Littleton and Acton. They've been exceptionally good in that I was permitted to reactivate my email account through Groton so that anybody that wants to volunteer or has questions can email me directly. And as soon as I can find my new email address, because it's DPALMA, all one word, at grotonma.gov.
Nice.
Great. So again, it's DPALMA at grotonma.gov. If anybody wants to drop me a line, they have questions or they want to volunteer. Volunteers need to fill out a very simple form, and we give them a Corey check as is required. And I want to put anybody's fears to rest. I'm the only one that views them. I'm still certified to look at stuff. And then we're going to formulate a pool of volunteers. And our software is going to come up online pretty soon where we can schedule people to fit their needs. And hopefully with a community-based volunteer effort, we can make this one of the best ones in the state. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Excellent. So what are your thoughts on why should people get the COVID vaccine?
Well, because, it's science and it's been proven. And right now we don't have much, it's not time tested, but we're all in new uncharted territory. And what I see is we need to get back to our old way of life, or we need to get back to something close to normal. And I understand that there is a segment of people out there that don't believe in it, that don't want it. That's okay. That's your privilege. The rest of us want to be safe, and we want to be able to hug our grandkids and all those things that we've been missing for a long time, and be able to go out and have lunch with our friends and stuff like that. So my goal when I took on this task, and it's been the same with all the people that I've involved with me, is our goal is to get as many people done as want to be done, so that we can get our lives back to normal and face our next challenge. So that's my feeling on the whole thing. Originally, and it still holds true. Part of my drive for this was I could see in the Groton, Westford, and Acton, because those are the towns I'm really familiar with, that there was an extreme need among seniors. It was really difficult for a lot of seniors, and a lot of seniors were afraid to drive in the winter months. And it was difficult for some of them to get up to Lowell General, and it was really difficult for them to get down to Patriot Place. And one of the frustrations that I heard from the COA directors was that, even to take a COA van with social distancing guidelines, they could only make 2 trips a day with 3 people. So that was really frustrating for them. So there is a definite need in our area and I call our area the Nashoba Valley Devens, and I throw in the Route 2 corridor because that's really a big hole. So that's it. That's my feeling on it. We're going to take care of as many people as want to be taken care of, and we're not going to stop until the state tells us we have to stop and get it done.
Good. Well, we're happy to be of support. We will sign up and help volunteer. And I know we have some card tables and chairs that you are more than happy to use, and anything else that we can do to help move this forward and get the community, like you say, back to something of a normal. We're excited to be part of it.
Well, I appreciate it. And again, if anybody has any questions, they can reach me at that email. You know how to contact me. We were fortunate to get some tablets. We're looking to get some more to borrow. Obviously, I don't want somebody to hand me 5 tablets to keep. We don't want that. We would like to borrow some. We have one of the great things about ClearPath is they've been so generous with their building and their staff that we have. Not only do we have the vaccination area, but we have an area for the volunteers to take their break. We have access to the kitchen, but we also have secure access to store the vaccine, and we have secure access to store personal items, but we have secure access to store our delicate equipment, our laptops and our tablets and stuff like that. So they've really been good, and there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this. There's been a lot of talent that I've tapped into, not just me, but a lot of area folks. And I would love to hear from any area business folks or chamber members that hear this or see this, that may have a suggestion or a thought. I think most of the folks that are there know who I am, and I'm relatively approachable, and I listen most of the time. So, I want this to be a community effort, which means, 2 heads are always better than one, and I don't know everything. So somebody may pick up on something that I just didn't. And one of the great things that we have is the talent that we have, the fire chiefs and police chiefs and town administrators and ClearPath. ClearPath is set up so that if we should need to expand, if the need blossoms instead of deteriorates, we have the ability to really expand and really make it a functioning area. So that being said, I'm more than willing to entertain anybody that wants to give me a call or an email with a suggestion or wants to volunteer. If chamber people want to go through you to volunteer, I can send you the form so that they can fill it out. It's a quick down and dirty form, and it's just for a Corey check. And if we have people that are in the chamber that have already been Corey checked in the last year or so, that makes it easier. All the nurses and the firefighters and the police officers that are volunteering and the doctors and stuff, they've all had it already. But when we're taking lay people to do volunteer stuff, we have to have that.
Absolutely.
So
it's all about being safe. Well, we're looking forward to this and anything we can do. Absolutely. If you want to send me that form, we will get that out to the membership, and we will encourage everybody to contact you to volunteer and donate supplies. And we look forward to being part of this. And cheers to a healthy 2021.